We got to talk about Daniel Jones because that's the biggest topic I think that's going to be coming up this week here. Because listen, this loss is not on Daniel Jones. This loss is on the entire goddamn offense. But it's not going to be on Daniel Jones. I want to throw that out there because I know Daniel Jones people that just love Daniel Jones go, there they go being negative again. Like, no, I'm being honest. This is not on Daniel Jones. But Daniel Jones should never step foot on the New York Giants football field again for his entire career.
Yeah, he wasn't part of the problem, but he definitely was part of the solution. So you're 100% right. Like the offensive line, there's not up too many sacks. Brett, they also let Johnny Jones on his own sacks. You also have Hyatt. I mean, Grant, what was he? Hurt his hamstring in that play, missing big plays down the field.
Well, that was later on with Locke. The game was already even over at that point. I mean, but I'm talking about the fact that we said at the beginning here, the season's over. Daniel Jones has an injury guarantee. Daniel Jones is prone to injuries. Daniel Jones is not in the plans for next year. This offensive line played like poop today. All those things together tell you it's time to Russell Wilson his backside.
I don't even know if I want to go Russell Wilson either. Ugh.
It is time to car him.
Ugh.
But that's the people have had this happen to the last 2 years. Like I said, if we're not going to keep Daniel Jones past this year, and if Joe Shane says we're going to keep him past this year, I will smack him right upside the goddamn head. But if we're not going to keep him next year, it is time to sit him and not risk him getting injured. And that's not me saying that Drew Lock is better than him. I mean, look at Drew Lock at this.
No, you're looking at the investment down the road. Like exactly. If you're going to say like, hey, do you want to throw $20 million down the toilet or take a chance on it? It's like going to the casino, put in $20 million on green.
Yeah. Well, here's the difference, though. On that scenario, putting $20 million on green, you could lose it all or you can double your money. Here's the thing. We can lose it all.
Double.
Well, but I'm saying like we can lose all our money by playing him or win some meaningless games potentially if you think he's better than anybody else we have on the roster. And that's a debate that we don't even need to have at this point, whether he's better than Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito. It's irrelevant at this point. If we win some games because we have Daniel Jones on the roster, we still don't get in the playoffs. We still get absolute butt kiss for it there. So what we need to do is sit his backside down on the bench. Huh?
Oh, butt kiss. I said, who's kissing your butt?
No one's kissing my butt right now. I'm on a seat. Technically, the chair is kissing my butt. But we need to sit him down and just end this already. The Daniel Jones era is officially over with this game. And if it's not, this is point blank franchise malpractice by Joe Shane. And I'm assuming because they seem to be in sync with a lot of this kind of stuff, Brian Dable. It is time to sit him. Daniel Jones, because you're not going to you're not going to cut him. You can't cut him. It makes no sense. You'd lose money by doing that. But what he can do is he could be the new DeVito. He could be the new guy that's on the active roster, is inactive for the game, and is listed as your third emergency quarterback. That's where Daniel Jones's role should be the rest of the season. And in the meantime, it shouldn't be Drew Lock who we saw today. It should be Tommy DeVito playing and seeing what he develops into. And again, I've told you guys this on there before, and Deb put it right here too as well. She said, I wish to play DeVito and see if he's a viable backup for the future. That's exactly what we're looking at. Is DeVito going to develop into a backup in this league? Because he's not going to be a starter. I don't think he's that good.
Yeah. Hey, can he be an Italian hero?
Like a sausage and peppers?
Yeah. Italian sub, man.
Oh, you're going Jersey Mike style on us instead.
Well, that's the New York thing. It's a hero. Hoagies when you're in the boondocks down south.
Oh, is that what
Jersey?
It is? I don't know. It's always a sub to me. But either way, and yes, Dakota, I'm also not. Yeah, I'm there with you, Dakota. Hello there, because I know you're going to say, son, you're good. You're good. And he says, don't they all practice 4 times a week? I don't know what that comment's about, but yes, they all practice. But like I said, I think the big thing is at this point is to not let the Daniel Jones mistake be a worse mistake by risking him getting injured. He
There's
needs to go ahead and be the third quarterback. He needs to be treated almost like an injured player in practice where there's no contact. I want that red to goddamn jersey right on him at that point there. And I want them to go ahead and not play him. He says coaches see the quarterbacks in practice. But that's not what this is about. This is about the fact that you're preparing for next season. That's what you're doing at this point. You are preparing for next season. And what you should do is sit him and not risk that injury guarantee. That's what this is all about. Don't risk the injury guarantee.
Yeah, 100%. Like, why? We're already paying this guy way too much money this year. Why pay him why pay him an extra $20 million when you're just going to get rid of him?
Yeah.
And
because if he gets injured, it's guaranteed.
Yeah. And the question is, we got to figure out what we're going to start talking about. It's like, do they like who they have that's coming up in this draft? Do you think they're going to get someone? Or are they going to start looking into one of these journeyman quarterbacks that have been around the league for the past few years and just say, like, hey, be our bridge. You can be our bridge, baby.
And you know what? If you don't think, hypothetically, that Drew Lock is the answer and Tommy DeVito is the answer, at least for this season, I'm saying right now for a moment, then go trade a late round draft pick. I'll give you a 7th round pick for Jameis Winston. You know what I mean? Like that kind of, like, I'm not saying the Browns would do it. I'm just throwing a hypothetical out there. Like, no matter what, there is no excuse whatsoever for Daniel Jones playing one more snap under center for the New York Giants, unless both quarterbacks in front of him get injured and he gets used as an emergency quarterback. That's the only scenario we should ever see him there. And obviously, the likeliness of that scenario is so low, it's not even funny. Daniel Jones needs to go. And again, not his fault today. Not his fault.
But I mean, he's also the guy that's under center, who's the leader of the team.
Yep.
And if you win or lose, like, that's still on you. Like, you're the leader of the team. Like, it's sad to say, like, he may not be the guy that lost the game, but you're still responsible for your team because you're the leader.
Yeah, and John says here, supposedly other teams interested in Jones, like the Raiders, he shortened help his stock today. I can't imagine one team that'd be interested in Daniel Jones. I really can't, unless they need a backup. Like, if you want to use Daniel Jones as a backup, I could see that as a role. I think he's not a bad backup in this league, but you're still gonna have to pay some of the money if you could trade for him. So,
listen. Actually, Raiders. Let's go back to that for a second. Listen, if they want to spend the capital on getting Daniel Jones, because they said that Minshew's not the answer, and AOC, if you will, Adrian O'Connor, or whatever his name is not the answer, and they want a chance to win a couple games, even though they have 2 wins this year as well.
Yeah.
They want to trade for Daniel Jones and pay him his money. Like, okay, let's figure it out. We'll give you Daniel Jones, take his contract. We'll finish paying out this year, and we'll take Minshew.
I would take anything for Daniel Jones just to not have him on this team any longer at this point. But I don't. And again, there's cap issues that we'd have to look at with this whole thing. And there's also the fact that, again, I don't think anybody's crazy enough to actually trade for Daniel Jones. I really don't. But the problem you run into, and I'll be the first one to tell you guys, I counted a lot of things like over the cap and stuff like that to tell you what to do as far as, the numbers for trading Daniel Jones. And I don't know where the numbers would end up at this point when it's midseason. So I'd have to rely on somebody who has access and more knowledge in salary cap situations than I do. But I'll tell you this, if we had traded him this offseason, we would have only saved $14 million under the cap, it says. So that says we probably would save some money by trading him. But again, no one's taking that contract on, guys.
No.
His salary alone, his base salary next year is $30 million.
It's nice salary.
Now, granted, if you trade for him, you can cut him with no losses whatsoever because all his guarantees are already paid out. I don't see it happening, guys. I really don't. So again, I'm not sure the salary cap implications of trading him, but it's not going to happen. Nobody wants him. No one. So, like I said, I appreciate everything Daniel Jones has done for us. I do think he's a hard worker. I do think he's a nice guy. I do think he has leadership skills. I just don't think he has quarterback skills. And that's the most important thing in the end, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, especially when you're a quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.